Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Stewart Coerver, and I'm the Director of Sales Engineering here at data.world. In this session, we're going to run through some quick product demonstrations, really focus through the lens of Agile Data Governance and how we enable some key themes of Agile Data Governance through the capabilities of the platform. I've got 4 themes to show you, so without further ado, let's get into the demos. The first demo is going to focus on a theme of really making it easy for everyone to contribute to the metadata. You want the bar for contribution to be very low, but to have a good level of control to ensure that the content stays of the highest quality. Let's show you how we do that. As we switch over here to the data.world platform, you see I'm standing on a very typical data catalog asset. This is the retail order table. You can see all the human intelligence that's been added to this simple metadata record, this table in my Snowflake instance. You can see the descriptions. As we scroll, you can see static metadata about it, whether the data is confidential, how it should be used. Over here on the right, you can see how who's responsible for it, when it was last updated, and all of those types of information. As I scroll, you can also see the different columns that are in this table and a little information about those if I want to go look at them. I can see data sets that are referenced by this table. I can also see things like Tableau dashboards and business terms that are also related to this particular table. Now, the key thing about making contribution easy is that you give edit rights, blanket edit rights, to the very few, but the ability to suggest changes to the many. And that's what you can see here. In line, no matter where I am, I'm logged in as Bob, an analyst who doesn't control these records, but reads them and has interesting thoughts potentially to provide on them. And he wants to suggest a change that a dashboard be added that is also related to this table of information. So Bob can simply click the Suggest Changes button. An edit modal comes up, just with a simple warning that until Bob's suggestions are approved by the appropriate parties, they will not show up. But Bob's like, that's fine. I can just simply say I made this order shipping details dashboard that I think belongs here. He can review the change that he's suggesting. He can add comments to this to give instruction or reasons about why this should be added and save the change. And voila, his suggestion has been submitted to the appropriate people who have those edit rights to either approve or reject his suggestion. And for Bob, he simply gets a notice here at the top that says you've made suggestions, but they're not going to appear here unless they're accepted by the appropriate parties. And Bob can also view his actual suggestion in case he changes his mind or wants to make changes to it. So that's one way we make it very easy for people to not only interact with the information, but then to provide quick feedback in a very controlled manner. Let's go back and look at our second demo theme. The second one here is we want to enable data consumers to explore the actual data in the catalog whenever possible, because that presents a tremendous amount of benefits. First and foremost is it encourages active use of the catalog by the data workers that you need to use it the most. Otherwise, you risk being a metadata museum, where you become dusty documentation that is extremely difficult to keep up to date. So let's look at how we enable actual exploration of the data through the platform in a very secure way. So as I come back as the analyst Bob here looking at retail order, he may be interested to see that there is a data set already curated called customer order history. And by clicking through here now, I see the resource page here for this curated data set that Sarah Smart, the steward here, was nice enough to put together. She has said, for those of you looking for curated, clean, documented information about how to look through customer order history, I have built that here. I've applied attributes. I've linked in the appropriate tables. And you see this button to request access. But for yes, of course, Bob would need to get approval, if he didn't already have it, to see the data that's behind this. But this doesn't go off into some other processes that are now outside of the control of the data catalog. We can provide access right here within the catalog in short order. And that has really, really strong benefits as we go through these little demonstrations. So let's switch over. I'm going to use a link here through the magic of demos to go to a shared version where Bob already has access. So instead of having to request access, he now has the Explore This Dataset button. And when he clicks here, we get into an actual workbench where Bob can, if I can move myself out of the way there a little bit, can review these different data elements. So here, if he wants to see that retail order table, he can now view some of that information. He can query it if he's so inclined. If he has skills to run an ad hoc query, I'll simply run this select star there. And again, it's running in a very secure way using data virtualization to pass down that query to the data where it lives. You do not need to move all your data into data.world to do this. And then he also has the even further benefits of being able to open those results with his preferred BI tools, whether that's something simple like Excel, something more enterprise like Tableau or Power BI, or more advanced like Jupyter or Google Studio. We really want to be an open player and allow the different data analysts and data scientists to open data in whatever tools that they want. That's a core tenet of data.world. So providing this access to then explore the data, to bridge from just simply this was a nice explanation of the data to I can actually get my hands in the data and start to query it and understand it, is a massive leap forward in value for your most important data workers. Now let's go back and build on this idea with our third theme. The third theme is that by having people do work within the data catalog, you reap the value of data work in progress. So much of data catalog focus in the market is around documentation and restriction and many other things that are valuable, but maybe nothing is as valuable as the ability to confidently reuse data work that has already been approved, that has already been seen as effective, and to deploy that confidently in new data projects. So we're going to show you how we enable that. So as we come back to my data set, I can see that my data set is used in what we call project here in the related projects section called shipping profitability analysis. Now, projects are very powerful workspaces where we can bring together multiple data sets, multiple people with different interests in either tagging along, auditing, understanding, contributing new ideas to this project. In this example, we're asking, should we provide free or discounted shipping for our e-commerce customers? Are we overcharging them? Do we have issues there? So you can see, you can have a write-up of this project. You can go view what's the latest activity in this project, who's been doing what insights have been derived from this project, what discussion has been going on, and much more. But the power here is that when I launch the workspace, is that I, as Bob the analyst, can bring together all kinds of important artifacts so that we can do some collaborative analytics together. So not only can I read the different summaries that have been written of this project, I can attach any types of files that I want, whether they be data, code, or any other types of files. And then I can connect in data sets that I've already built and curated within the data.world platform. And that allows me to do massively powerful exploration, joining, combining of data. So I'll jump to the most sophisticated version of that, which is we support federated queries, the ability to query all at once data I'm virtualizing from Snowflake, from maybe a Postgres SQL database, and an Excel file, all with one simple SQL query. And you see that I can save this query, I can know who wrote this query and when they wrote it, and I can see the description that Tim gave it so that I understand what it was intended for. As an analyst, this gives me so much information to either use this query or a version of this query, or to understand or ask smart questions about how this data was produced, how these insights were produced, and whether I can take advantage of that. So reaping the benefits of that reuse, of saying people have looked at this, vetted this, and this is a good endorsed way to work with the data, is very, very powerful. And because people are doing this homework, doing this active work and showing that within this town square of the data catalog, that means these artifacts, these queries, these data sets are searchable, findable, and again, reusable. That's a very important concept as we go through this. Now, the last piece that I want to talk through is the theme of measure and audit everything. So this combines both your the desire of the governance type folks within your organization who want to be able to know what's everything that's being queried and what are people doing. But also for those of you thinking more forward thinking on offense about what we can do to have insight into what people are searching for, what they're doing, how you can better move the catalog and therefore your data landscape forward most effectively on your next iterations. So let's show you how we allow you to measure and audit everything within the data.world catalog. So as I flip back over here to the interface, I'm going to jump back out so that I can have my search bar. And I'm going to search for the metrics that we provide our customers. In our shorthand, we call those DDW metrics. I can see those here. So for our fictional company Demo Corp, my demo environment here, we can see all the usage and governance reporting and events that we would like. We provide aggregated queries already out of the box to every customer and can even provide the full events data for companies to work with as they want to develop their own custom metrics out of this. And so the power of this is that we define all of the different things that we're capturing so people have awareness of what they mean. And we use our own data set capability to expose really valuable, granular data about what people are doing within this catalog. So from the most basic front end, like what's coming through the front door, what are people searching for and who is searching for it and how often? You can easily load this into your Tableau environment, create visuals for reporting or for explaining or making cases to leadership. All kinds of ways that you can really understand that and see where you want to put your effort within the catalog to have better definitions, better resources. If I want to see which pages are viewed most, similarly, we give full reporting around that. And even one of the more powerful ones, as people query through our data virtualization layer, right? I have full knowability of who is running the query, what type of action they're taking, and even the full text of the query itself. So if I double click into one of these boxes, I can see the full query text. So none of this is happening outside of the lens of the people that want to ensure that good compliant behavior is going on, but also for those that are really trying to keep track of how well they're advancing the data literacy and data cataloging efforts within their organization. So those are really some key ideas, and we want to be very transparent, no black boxes, right? To allow you to build the types of reporting that you need based off the types of events that matter to your organization. All right, so that was 4 quick demos to run through to show you some of those key tenets of Agile data governance and how we think about catalogs and some of those key ways that we think you can really benefit from the data.world platform. So I appreciate you attending our short little session. Again, if you have questions, you can always reach out for a full demo. We're always happy to do that. You can see my email address there. And of course, visit us at data.world. I hope you enjoy the summit. Appreciate you listening. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.